The only thing in between you and in between the person you want to be is literally your mindset. It is not anything else. It's not the situation you were born into. It's not any of that. It's not anything external. It's always internal. Blame everything on yourself. If your girl leaves you, bro, that's your fault, bro. If you didn't want her to leave and you tried your best to make her stay, it's like, bro, that's your fault. You need to take self-accountability for everything. But look, why do I say the mindset is the most important thing? A lot of people try to fix internal problems with external things. You want to be a more attractive person. So instead of working on yourself, instead of becoming a more important person, you want to buy cologne. You want to buy $3,000 shoes. You want to do all these things, and you want to do this before you work on yourself internally. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with buying nice colognes. I buy nice colognes because I want to smell good. I want to look good. But if you're doing that before fixing the internal, bro, it's like a fucking mouse that's running in circles and circles. It doesn't matter how much effort you're going to do. You're going to stay in the same fucking spot, bro. And this is what I'm keep trying to tell you guys. Fix the internal. If you have low energy throughout the day, there's a deep-rooted issue to why you don't have energy. It's like, and then instead of fixing the internal issue, what do you want to do, right? You want to fucking chug coffee. You want to chug energy drinks. You want to give yourself all these chemicals instead of fixing the internal issue, which is, first of all, you're not getting enough sleep, and second of all, you're not fucking eating the right foods, because eating the right foods is so detrimental to your energy. But the whole point I'm trying to make isn't even about the energy thing. The point I'm trying to make is that if you have a problem, stop looking externally before you fix the internal, because you're never going to find the deep-rooted issue. And if you don't find the deep-rooted issue, you're never going to be able to fix it. And the deep-rooted issue with getting into shape is not that you don't know what to do. It's that you don't have the mindset that is capable of producing results. And if you want to get in shape, it's the same exact principles with improving your life in every single other area. You need to understand your mindset is the foundation. Your mindset is the blueprint. Your mindset is the key factor that is going to motivate you to actually change. But what do I mean about mindset? You guys have a brain, you think, but that doesn't mean the way you're thinking is optimal. But let me break down everything, right? What do I mean by mindset? What type of mindset is successful? Oh, this guy's an idiot. What are you doing? What the fuck? All right, look. When I first started in the gym, a certain mindset I had is, first of all, yes, of course, I wanted to look better. But after every workout, and yes, I would look at myself in the mirror after every single workout to see my progress. But I wasn't doing it for the six pack. I wasn't doing it for the abs. I was doing it because it's not that I wanted to. I needed to see progress. There's a difference. A lot of you guys think you want something, but it's fucking very different when you need it, because I hated the way my life was at so much, and I hated myself so much that the change became inevitable because the why was big enough. Because if your why is big enough, the how isn't even a matter. The how doesn't even matter. The how is gonna manifest itself right in front of you because your why is so big. So look, I started working out. What did I focus on? What were the principles that I focused on? I focused on how can I get stronger? How can I eat as much as possible? Did I know the most perfect things to do? No, I didn't know the right perfect foods. I didn't know the point of a carbohydrate. I didn't know the point of eating protein. But I had a rough idea in my head is that people say you need to eat protein to grow. So what did I do? I chugged protein shakes. I ate a bunch of fucking chicken and rice and beans that my mom would make me. I ate a bunch of just meat, right? I ate so much bullshit. Well, not bullshit, but I ate so much, and I fucking made sure I was getting stronger to the point where it got me to where I was today. But obviously at the beginning I didn't know everything, but my why was so big that I just started learning everything else. I started learning from other people who were more advanced with me. I started surrounding myself with people who were in the gym. And they say whoever you surround yourself with is who you become. And I only surrounded myself with people who valued working out, right? We were all young. We were around 16, 17, 18 years old. But we still understood that what else were we going to fucking do? We loved working out. There wasn't literally, me and my boys, we would go to the gym. Literally, we would spend, my bad. We would spend hours in there And I grew to love it. I grew to love the time that I spent in there. But there were countless of days that I didn't feel like going. There were countless of days where my mom would tell me, Noel, you're going to the gym too much. Why do you go so much? Stay home, take some rest. Yes, my mom would tell me this on a daily basis, but I still went because I knew I had to. I knew I had no choice. And I lived with a different type of pressure on myself. I put that pressure on myself that I had to be consistent no matter what. And I'm translating that same exact thing into my life now. I'm waking up early on a consistent basis. Every single day I wake up between 5 to 7 a.m. Usually 5 a.m. Today I woke up at 7, but today was the first day I woke up at 7 in so long. Just because yesterday I was spending time with my family that I haven't seen in a minute. But guys, I'm not trying to make excuses, but what I am telling you, what I am telling you is that I've been waking up at 5 a.m. consistently for, obviously, other than a few minor days, for the past for the past 65 days. And my life has changed so much. But the thing is, the reason why I'm able to do that is because of the principles I learned from the gym and the mindset that I learned from the gym. What mindset that I learned? I learned delayed gratification. Working today, struggling today, and seeing results 6 months into the future. What is another mindset shift that I learned? Be, do, have. You need to act like the person you want to be. No. You want to identify who you... Fuck! You need to identify who do you want to be. What does that person do? How does that person act? Identify clear goals. And once you have the clear goals, you know the small goals that it takes to get there. Because it's very hard to not see progress when you optimize what you're doing and you're actually trying. Most people don't even try. Most people are not willing to actually try to accomplish their goals because they're so fucking lazy. Most people are so lazy that they give up once they fail once. When the thing is, failure is inevitable for you to see progress. Failure is the number one proof that you're actually putting in effort. Every single time I fail today, I appreciate it, because without those failures, I wouldn't be who I am. As a kid, I had fucking bruises on my legs every single day. I cannot tell you one time I didn't have bruises on my legs because I fucking fell down countless times. I wasn't afraid of falling down. I was always running. I was always being active. I was always doing all these things. I got stitches 5 times. Guys, I got stitches right here when I was around 6 years old because I ran into the corner of a fucking table. My dumb ass fell. Okay, I don't like talking to myself like that, but I'm talking about my past self. I literally ran into the corner of a table right here, started bleeding. I was in the fucking hospital, and I remember envisioning myself. It's so weird because I remember envisioning myself from a third person point of view, me literally screaming in the hospital bed because the doctors are putting in stitches into my fucking forehead. And this was a night, you know, me and my family were gonna go out to eat to this nice place, and then that shit happened and we didn't even end up going. And it's like I got stitches on my leg. My leg started fucking bleeding, gushing out blood. And it was embarrassing. It's embarrassing because I was in a fucking like outdoor mall, and then I trip on a metal sign because I'm running on the grass. I trip on the metal sign, start bleeding everywhere, get stitches, super painful. Most I've bled in my whole entire life. You can literally see the bones. It's so nasty. But the whole point I'm trying to make is that ever since I was a kid, I failed so many times, but I got back up so many times, and that's my greatest strength. My greatest strength is that I am not afraid to fail. I am not afraid of looking dumb in front of other people. I'm not afraid of looking like a beginner in front of other people. And you guys can see in my whole content creation journey, when I first started posting, it was the most uncomfortable shit I had ever done in my whole life, if I'm gonna be honest with you. My whole entire life, I've always tried to be nonchalant. I've always tried to be mysterious. And the one time that it went against that was when I started posting content, because I'm like, damn, I can't be mysterious anymore. I have to document my journey. I have to say all these things. I have to say these embarrassing stories. I have to relate to everybody. And my whole entire life, I was always afraid of showing my weak points. I was always afraid of talking about things I struggled with. I didn't want to talk about my porn addiction, beating my meat addiction. I didn't want to talk about how I fell short so many times. I didn't want to talk about what's an embarrassing thing, how, you know, this girl called me the ugliest person she's ever seen. I didn't want to talk about all these certain things, but The reason why I talk about these things is so that somebody else who's been in the same shoes as me can understand that I am no different than them. I just used those painful areas in my life to improve. Because the thing is, as a human, everyone watching this, you guys all have a story. You have something painful that has happened to you. But the difference with me is that I use that pain to elevate me. Because the thing is, if I'm not going to use it to elevate me, then what is it going to do? It's going to bring me down. And I can't allow anything to bring me down. I just can't allow it. I can't allow anyone to bring me down. It doesn't matter what the fuck anyone says to me. I'm always going to believe in myself. And the biggest growth that ever happened to me was everything that my mentor has taught me. He's taught me so much about self-belief and the power of your words. You know, a lot of people don't understand how powerful their words truly are. You know what I mean? And the reason why I corrected myself when I called myself a dumbass earlier in the call is because you should never speak badly about yourself ever. Not even as a joke. Ever. You should never speak badly about yourself. Because your subconscious brain doesn't know the difference between a joke and between reality. If you have friends in your life that think it's funny to belittle you and talk down to you, you need to understand, bro, these people, you just need to understand that these people are saying that because it's a self-reflection of how they feel, right? If they're constantly talking bad to you for no reason, that's a self-reflection that they're insecure. Because the thing is, winners don't hate. The only people that hate on others are people that are trying to bring other people down because they understand that that person has massive potential. It's like, you know, when people, because the thing is about friends is that, like, the true reality of it is that most people don't want you to significantly surpass them. Like, they want you to do good, but they don't want you to do too good. They don't want you to do too good to the point where you're making them look bad, because intrinsically every single guy has a competitive, they have a competitive, like, spirit in their heart. At least if this guy's masculine, right? If he's feminine, he probably doesn't. But every guy, it's like we have to compete with each other. You know, we have to compete with each other. And, you know, I just think that sometimes, right, a lot of guys give up on the game. They give up on the game, and since they gave up, they're not gonna want to cheer on other people. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna call you a bitch. They're gonna speak negatively to you. They're gonna say all these negative things because they already gave up on themselves. And when people give up on themselves, they give up on you. When people don't respect themselves, bro, how do you expect that person to respect you? And it's like, bro, all these things get so much deeper. The power of your voice, the power of what you say is actually magnificent. It's like, bro, everything you say, you can genuinely speak the life you want to live into reality. And you can speak your life into destruction through your words. Have you ever seen that guy that always constantly voices out and says, I have no confidence, I feel like shit, I have no energy? When you say these things, you're reinforcing them into reality and you're solidifying them. Because once you say it, it's already, you already put it out there. But if you're just thinking it, it's different, because you merely only view your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You are just viewing them. So the power of your words is absolutely powerful. And ever since I started on my self-improvement journey, the one thing I stopped doing is I stopped speaking negatively. I stopped speaking negatively to the people around me, and I stopped speaking negatively to myself. Because if you truly love yourself, you're not going to talk down to yourself. You're only going to speak positive things about yourself, because that is what you deserve. You only deserve to be uplifted. You only deserve to be spoken highly of. And that's what I do with everyone around my life. I only make everyone better. I literally have a certain energy that makes other people around me better. I make other people better because I made myself better first. Because if you don't make yourself better first, how the fuck do you expect that other people are gonna look up to you and respect you? Because the only way other people are going to be comfortable with having you as a leader is if you're able to lead yourself first. And the best coaches coach themselves first. Anytime you get that feeling of sleeping in, you get that feeling of skipping that workout, you get that feeling of oh, I don't have to do this, so I can just stay home and be comfortable. Anytime you get that feeling, the best possible leaders and coaches understand that I need to go against these feelings that are keeping me in my comfort zone, because that is gonna make me worse. That is not gonna allow me to elevate. You know, God isolates us before He elevates us. You might think the journey you're on is lonely, when in reality, first of all, God's always with you, and second of all, it's supposed to be lonely. You're not supposed to have everyone around you. Because the truth is, when you're trying to elevate your life, you're very different than most people, because most people settle. If you guys look outside, right? The other day I was at work and I was like, damn, everyone here is fat. You know what I mean? Every single person is out of shape. And when I did see a person in shape, I'm like, damn, like my respect for that person massively went up. I'm like, damn, this guy's fucking, like my respect for him went up because of the environment, because 90% of people aren't willing to do that. 90% of people stay in their comfort zone. 90% of people aren't willing to go through the effort, even though the effort isn't even hard, because being fat is way harder than working out to be in shape. But guys, I've kind of went all over the place, but the whole message that I'm trying to say is that your words have extreme power. They have extreme power. And if you're not able to control and limit yourself from speaking badly about yourself and speaking badly about other people, how the fuck are you going to be able to do and accomplish other things that are way harder than that? Because a lot of people just don't understand the power of the identity shift, the power of not accepting a life you don't want to live, the power of not accepting who you are in the present moment, because you understand you're meant for more. And the moment that you decide, I don't want to be this person today, that is the moment you're going to feel the most uncomfort. But that feeling of uncomfortness that you're gonna feel is your old self dying. Every single time you're making a new drastic change, it's gonna come with the very massive uncomfort feeling that you're going to get. But that same exact feeling is the precursor to the life that you want to live and the person that you want to be. And that's when most people quit. Most people quit when it gets uncomfortable, and they don't realize that this is exactly what they need in life. But guys, one thing I do want to say is that trying to elevate your life without fixing your mentality first is like wearing shoes to swim. It's only going to slow you down. It's only going to there's no point in it. There's no point if you could just take off the shoes. But what do I mean by that? Wearing shoes when you swim is only going to limit you. And it's the same way, if you don't fix your mentality first, it's going to limit you. You're not going to be able to be as fast. And it's the same thing with getting into shape. It's the same thing, because it's like there's not one area in your life that isn't going to improve once you get into shape, because you're no longer being held back by those insecurities. You're no longer being held back by those negative thoughts. You're no longer being held back by everyone else's perception of you of being lazy. Because when other people perceive you as lazy, naturally opportunities aren't going to come to you. When people do not respect you, naturally opportunities aren't going to come to you. When I was skinny fat and I had man titties and I didn't have abs and I was fucking ugly as fuck, do you think I was going to obtain any opportunity like that? No. I didn't have high quality friendships at that time. Every single girl was fucking, bro, no girls wanted me at that time. That was when I had the least amount of confidence. That's when I would look in the mirror and I hated what I saw. And that's when I would play Fortnite 8 hours a day, and I would use that as an escape from reality, because I didn't want to live life, because I wasn't proud of the life I was living. So I would just escape it through playing Fortnite. I would escape it through watching anime, watching shows. I would just watch movies. I would literally lay in my bed and just watch movies 24/7. Bro, you're constantly watching movies. You're watching other people live their lives, but what about you? It's like, dog, you're asking me about, did I watch the new Superman movie? But like, what about you? Why are you not treating your own life like a movie, bro? I used to be so obsessed with movies and shows. I used to be so obsessed with what everybody else was doing. I would watch the shows and then I would watch the interviews after. I would watch, oh, what is this actor doing? What is this actress doing? But bro, what was I doing with myself? I was so caught up in what other people were doing, and I neglected myself. How could I have self-respect for myself when I didn't even care about my own life and I only cared about other people's lives? I would only consume other people's lives. I wouldn't work on how can I make my own life as cool as possible. It was a waste. It was a waste. It was a waste of time. I don't even remember what happened in those shows. I don't even remember half the movies that I watched. It was just basically 2.5 hours of my life. I mean, bro, it is what it is. You can't change the past, but you can change who you are today and what you do in the future. And I've been on this journey for 4 months right now. And this is the most fulfilled I've ever been because I'm growing something bigger than myself. And I think that the most selfish people are people who do not sacrifice so that they can provide for the people around them. It's like, bro, if you are fat, you need to understand you being fat is a direct reflection of greed and selfishness. That makes you greedy and selfish. It's like, bro, save some food for the rest of us, bro. You are greedy. You're eating up all the fucking food, bro. Like, dead ass. Like, dead ass, bro. That makes you greedy. In the Bible, gluttony is one of the biggest sins because you can't even control yourself. If you can't even control what you put in your mouth, how the fuck do you expect that you're gonna be able to actually control things that matter? How do you expect that your kids are gonna respect you? How do you expect your wife to respect you when you can't even control what you put in your mouth? How do you expect other people to trust you? If I put a donut in front of you and I tell you don't eat it and I go to the bathroom, how am I supposed to trust you're not gonna eat that donut? How am I supposed to trust that? And if you can't eat that donut, bro, of course you're not gonna be able to control yourself with every single other aspect in life, bro. It's the bare minimum. Controlling what you put in your mouth is the bare minimum, bro. How is somebody supposed to trust you with things that are way more valuable than food if you can't even control yourself with food? I'm getting a bullshit call, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. People lie to themselves on a daily basis. People will lie to themselves on a daily basis. And I used to lie to myself every single day. Telling myself, oh, it's too young. Oh, I'm too young. I don't have to do that. Oh, everyone else is doing this, so I could just fit in. Oh, I don't have to do that. Dog, I'm just lying to myself to keep myself in comfort. I was lying to myself because I was afraid of what growth looked like, because I knew growth came with uncomfortable. I was lying to myself, telling myself all those businesses didn't work, when the true reality of it is that I didn't work. Because if I didn't work, nothing that I would do is gonna work. If you can't even fix your life physically, how do you expect to fix your life financially? How do you expect to fix your life in every single other way? If the bare minimum which is take care of your body, you can't even do it. You can't even take care of your body. And here's when real change happens. Real change happens when you raise the bare minimum for yourself and you understand that you are not gonna settle for mediocrity. The reason why I wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, because that is my new bare minimum. I woke up today at 7 a.m. and I felt like I was fucking late as hell. I felt like I was 5 years late. I was like, bro, it's 9 a.m. but like, bro, I feel like it's late as fuck because I was so used to waking up at 5 a.m. every single day, and I literally hadn't had any sleep for like a week. And I told myself, okay, I'm gonna give myself an extra 2 hours today just so I can catch up on sleep, and then tomorrow I'm going back to 5 a.m. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And it's like, bro, I raised that bar of bare minimum. My bare minimum now is I have to keep up my body. I have to keep up this bicep vein. I have to keep up everything because I've worked so hard for it in the past, so I have no choice but to keep it up. And the thing is, that is what actual success looks like. Success looks like it being the bare minimum, you having no choice but to do it because you've done it so much in the past. I've posted so much in the past, I have no choice but to keep posting, and I made a commitment to myself that this is what I'm going to do. I'm not afraid of failing. I'm not afraid of looking like a beginner. I will start a new path 50 times in my life, understanding that this is what's going to lead to me winning. This is going to lead to me learning something new about myself, because you learn about yourself when you go through struggles. That's exactly why I want to start fighting. I don't know which form of fighting I want to do. I think I'm going to start off with jiu-jitsu, but I think that your character is tested when you go through challenges. Your faith is tested when you go through challenges. Your faith is tested when you go through struggling moments, when you go through these things. Yo, boys, my bad. The camera overheated in the whip. But guys, I'm in this restaurant right now. I'm just filming some videos. I'm not even eating. I low-key just asked them. I was like, yo, can I just record a couple videos in here? And they just said, yeah, you know, you never want to be afraid to ask. Because at first I was a little bit afraid to ask. I was like, okay, what are they gonna say? But they said, yeah. And it's like in life, you have to take that next step. You can't let fear control you. And it's like, that's what it's about. But guys, I low-key, what was I talking about in the car? I was talking about so many different things, but the main principle that I was talking about was just mindset, the power of your mindset, the power of not allowing your own brain to limit you. Because at the end of the day, if your brain isn't on your side, who's gonna be on your side? You feel me? Because if you don't love yourself, nobody else is gonna love yourself. If you don't put that value on yourself and start improving on yourself a day-to-day basis, nobody's gonna come. Nobody's gonna knock on your door and be like, yo, you have to go to the gym, yo, you have to go on that walk. Nobody's gonna do that. So you need to do it for yourself, and you need to put yourself in situations that are gonna force you to fucking grow. Because, you know, I was reading this book called Atomic Habits, and it said that the people that have the most self-control often use it the least. And why do they use it the least? Because they put themselves in environments where they are not being tempted, and they put themselves in environments that optimizes what they need to do. It's like, look, if you're just thrown into a gym and you just make the first step, which is driving to a gym, you have no choice but to work out because everyone else in there is doing it. You feel me? And it's like, it's more times often than not, if a cake is just right in front of you, dog, and if you're bad with cakes, it's like, it's hard to overcome that challenge if you don't remove that from in front of you. Because, okay, yeah, the temptations are gonna show up in our life, but it's up to you if you're just gonna look the other way and refuse to allow that, you know. Because the thing is, if you just stare at it all day, the amount of self-control that it's gonna take for you to overcome that is so much more than if you just walked out the room and started doing something else. Because think about it like this: if you just walked out and just went away, you removed yourself from that situation, you wouldn't be tempted to eat the cake. That's what I'm telling you guys. The people that have the most self-control often use it the least. You don't want to fight these battles on your own. You need to just remove it completely and walk away from it. And it's the same thing with the gym. If you want to be disciplined in the gym, stop focusing on dreading the workout. Because, bro, the thing is, the workout is the best part. Like, it's not about the outcome. It's about, like, getting stronger. It's about seeing progress. It's about training your mind to be disciplined physically and carrying that same thing mentally, so that you can do hard work mentally, so you can provide for the people around you. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is that you need to make the small steps, like just going to the gym, going on that walk, just starting the walk. All you need to do is start. How can you just start on a day-to-day basis? How can I write down what I'm gonna do at the start of every day? How can I have a checklist of what I need to do, and you just execute on that checklist every single day? Because that's what helps me. Ever since I started having a checklist and having tasks that I have to do for the day, bro, I'm way more effective, I'm way more productive, because I have a clear outcome and a clear goal that I need to achieve. And that's the same thing that I do with my clients. We build a goal-oriented system that ensures progress. Because if you don't have small goals that you're working towards on a day-to-day basis, how do you know that you're making progress? You feel me? It's like, we have weight goals, strength goals, you know, eating habit goals, even these little habits that we want to improve in. Because it's not just about fitness, but we're elevating our life through fitness, because fitness is the whole foundation. And if you want to elevate your life financially and spiritually, elevating it physically is literally going to make it 20, 30 times easier to do those other things, because it's like, without elevating your life physically, it's like running with a parachute on. You're always going to be limited, and you're never going to be able to make it as far as a person who isn't limited by the self-doubts, by the insecurities, by constantly not being confident in yourself to do hard things. Because if you're able to tackle that weight, which is fucking scary, if first of all, if the weight isn't scaring you, it's not heavy enough. But if you're able to tackle that, overcome that, you can overcome anything in life. And that's what it's about, and that's why we that's what we do in Max Out Fitness Coaching. But look, guys, thank you for watching the video. But if any of you guys are interested in joining the team and getting into the best physical and mental shape of your whole entire lives by building the right habits from A to Z, go ahead and book a call with me down below. Thank you guys for watching the video. I'm out here, damn, it sounds like the song, but look, I'm here in Miami. You know, it's a beautiful city, beautiful place, and I'm looking forward, you know, to speaking with many of you guys, and, you know, just spreading the same exact, you know, wins that I'm making. Because the things with my clients, when I win, they win. When they win, I win. And it's like having that, you know, connection with another person where you're both elevating on a daily basis. You're doing it together. Because the truth is, you don't want to do these things on your own. You don't want to do it on your own because you're limiting how far you can truly make it. But if any of you guys are looking to join the team, go ahead and book a call with me. If you're genuinely serious about, you know, changing your life, transforming your life, you know. But yeah, I'm looking forward to speaking with many of you. Let's get it. Guys, keep it up, and I love all of you. Let's get it.